Good evening. Welcome to the start over. Good evening and welcome to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we can get together and we can talk about the things that help us escape. A lot of anime, quite a bit of anime, as you may find out if you're hanging out in the corner here with us. Also, some motorsports, because that's also a thing I like. However, Formula tends to be a little strict with their copyright, so it'll be just a little quick chat about the interesting new circuit, because here in America we didn't get a lot of Formula racing for a long time, and now Miami, brand new track, gonna be super excited, and then Houston, going back there to the circuit of the COTA, Circuit of the Americas, so pretty exciting there. And it looks to be exciting. A lot of spin outs in practice this weekend so far. So we'll talk about that for just a bit, just enough for me to get it out of my system and tell other people about it, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you what I like to escape with, and also tell you if I think you're right or wrong about the quality of your escapism. You know. Doesn't change the fact that you may or may not like something. It can be garbage and you can still like it. I mean, people go eat trash food all the time, but I'm gonna call it out. Woo! I think that should all come through. I don't think I've got a filter or anything that would cut out any loud noises. Let's get our sake poured for the night. And let's get into the anime review. But like the French spelling with a U and an E. Revue. Hon, 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 je vends, s'il vous plaît. Des Français. Hon, hon. Bum, bum, bum. Alrighty. Love After World Domination was great this week. Oh, you know what? I straight up missed it this week. Very busy day today, so I wasn't able to sit down and watch that one. I've got three others. Dawn of the Witch, probably a foreseeable turn if you were watching Grimoire of Zero. For me, I don't know anything about these characters. I half assumed this is where it was going, and the whole thing was just a big old test. But nowhere to really go with it, and I'm just in it for the we'll see what happens. Everything that pops up keeps coming at me, and I'm just like, all right, cool, whatever. Let's move on. Let's get on. Let's see what's next. Seeing our main character get used as a battery has been pretty fun, pretty funny. We've met Zero now, and hopefully we get to take off with that idea of witches being persecuted. Though I'm seeing signs that it might get a little too specific with our main character, so we will have to see what they do there. Not sure it's gonna be super awesome, but we're getting that sort of buddy. We're in a village, and now they've got to build witches' reputation, and let's see how they decide to do that and how make it interesting. I did have time yesterday to wash my soul, a little bit of bleach for the brain and the heart. Head to toe cleansed myself really, with a wonderful episode of Shachiku, really tearing at the heartstrings with this one, and really gets us to the question of, it's Miss Shachiku and the little baby ghost, and it being a little baby ghost. I mean, that means the little baby's a ghost, and to be a ghost, that means you died. So You're getting the heartstrings a little bit with a little flashback to our little baby ghost trying to interact with the human world and not being able to. And you're like, no. But then Miss Shachiku shows up, and you're like, you know what? She's gonna take care of things. Wonderful fun, just cute. Again, it is a is laundry at the end of the week. It's getting into warm sheets. It is that sort of washing, cleansing of all the crap that you had to deal with for the week. Still quite enjoying that show. Skeleton Knight in Another World. It's still so funny. Just why are we getting into like secret rooms and hidden caverns? And I mean, I guess it's video gamey, but we haven't seen anything that indicates that they're specifically in the video game, just that he is like the video game character. Maybe there's something I missed on that, but he seemed surprised by the ninja class. So it's funny to see these video gamey things of little just bars of gold hiding behind the walls of this mansion. Had to laugh. We've got a guy trying to be nasty, gross man. It's like, how do we show that this is the nasty, gross man? Oh, I know. Let's have him do sexually devious things that are awful and horrible, and then we'll stop him and punish him and let them punish him. But we're not going to show the punishment. We'll just show the how dirty and gross this man is. It's like, we should see the punishment. We should see both sides of that. I think they should show him getting beaten up, we will say, by the people that he was trying to rough up. Oh, it's I'm enjoying Skeleton Knight. We all knew it would be okay for someone to see his skull-like head. Ponta loves him, so of course the elves have to love him. We all just want a Ponta plushie now. We've seen how cute and soft Ponta's belly is, and my cat's done exactly the same positions that they were showing of Ponta, and just a fun, adorable little fox spirit, making the show just a little more fun, a little softer on the edges than than some of the more vile parts of the show would let on. So, those are... Wait, did I talk about Tomodachi Game? Have I? Hold on, did I not mark that I watched that? Oh, it's down here. That's right. Ponta is plot armor. The best part is, if you watch the way they've animated things, and I don't know if this is the same, if this show has a manga that matches this, but when the Skeleton Knight starts getting into his "I'm the Knight" voice, and I'm here to help, and we're gonna go that way, and Ponta will sit on his shoulder and mimic his like hand motions up and down, over left and right. He'll squint, like, it's just freaking adorable. Ponta is a reason just to watch that show. Really fantastic, definitely good there. Tomodachi Game. So I put this into my dropped folder, or dropped category, because we get an episode that says, "I'm the bad guy. I'm the traitor. I'm the evil one. And I'm doing it for sexually devious purposes." And you're like, what? Okay, we're like 4 episodes in. And in episode 3, I was like, okay, maybe he didn't do this thing. And then episode 4 is like, I did the thing. And then someone on Twitter... Hold on, what did they say? Because their exact wording confused me, and I couldn't tell if what they were saying was that it was good or if it's bad. So maybe somebody else can help me clarify this. So I said that Tomodachi Game is either the biggest long con twist, like, it's going to take forever, and you're going to get some crazy twist at the end that makes all of the games worth it, or it's the worst death game show we have ever seen. One or the other. It's either so stupid because it's just giving away the plot, or it's not giving away the plot and it's going to be really interesting. And then I had a reply to this. It said, "It's as brilliant as you might think it is. You just don't know it yet." it's as brilliant as you, being me, might think it is. You just don't know it yet. So I'm interpreting that to mean that he thinks the show is fantastic, given having read the manga, I would assume, because I think that it could be the biggest long con twist. Now, if it is a really long con twist, I don't think it's brilliant. I think if you're going to give away the secret, but then it's not the secret, you're setting yourself up to make a series that people do exactly what I did and drop it after 4 episodes. And they're not going to come back until someone else tells them, hey, maybe you should come back and give it. So no, that's not brilliant. That tells me it's freaking dumb. So I came back after reading this thing and like, okay, this guy thinks it's brilliant. Let's see. Let's see what's actually going on here. And we get into the next episode, and I realize this is boring Death Note. There's someone who saw Death Note, and they saw Darwin's Game, King's Game, you know, any of those game show things. Maybe they actually saw like a Saw or something like that, and they're like, oh, I could do that, and I could put this character in that'll be just like Yagami, and he'll have all of these people, but then they don't realize that the people he's having to defeat with wits are his friends, and you're kind of confused by that. Like, it would be more interesting if it was a group of people who weren't friends, if that's your goal. Or again, just don't tell us. Don't tell us. Like, he didn't have to admit to I did everything right at the beginning. And then if it's going to be like, well, he didn't actually do everything, it's going to be like, well, what? You were comparing it to Squid Game the minute you watched it. Exactly. It feels like someone watched Squid Game and read about Death Note and was like, I could do that too. But then doesn't really deliver on that. You know, the like 1 minute spoiler for Squid Game for the one person who hasn't seen it. At the very beginning, when that person is counting all of the people in the room, I immediately was like, yeah, he's counting because he wants to know how many people he's competing against and how many people he gets to play with. And it just is so immediately clear that person is part of what they are. And hopefully if you didn't break off for that spoiler minute, then that was vague enough that you won't get too spoiled on it. But it's just one of those, maybe if they had done a bunch of different Japanese kids games, maybe if they had more people that weren't friends, or maybe like the Tomodachi game is multiple groups of friends, that if those groups of friends work together, they can get through the situation. And then at the end, it's all pared down to just the group of friends. And now it's like, well, only one of you can win. Have fun. And it sort of breaks apart that whole friend dynamic. That might be, an interesting way to do it. This just feels contrived and silly. And watching that 5th episode of Tomodachi Game is like, I don't remember the rules of the game, and I don't have them blaring on the sky above me. So telling me, that wasn't a rule, and now we can do this, is like, all right, but I forgot what the rules were, so you could have made that up. And I'm not going to go back and the freaking, overseer is like, there were 3 times in the game where you could see what they were planning, and then they don't do a flashback to show you those 3 times. It's like, what do you think you are, a YouTube video that needs watch hours? I'm not going back to watch your stupid show. I'll wait till somebody else does that. Somebody else will be like, the 3 times that we saw Yuichi notice blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go back and watch the TV show just to catch up on that. Your show's not that interesting to me. But some, YouTuber or article writer out there that pulls that up, you know what? I'll give them a click. I'll give them a watch. I'll give them a like, whatever the need is for however they're broadcasting, because they did some work to make that happen. But don't think you're that interesting that I'm gonna watch 3 episodes of your show to then figure out the 3 times that they did a thing. Stupid. Do the classic flashback where we can see the moments and blah blah blah. I also dropped Don't Hurt Me, My Healer, but I did watch another one of it, but it's still dumb. Still dumb. I confirmed the droppableness of Don't Hurt Me, My Healer. Top 8 times Yuichi turned the tables on the Tomodachi game. Yeah, we have to wait for the end for that article. But believe you me, that one's a coming. And so those are what I watched. Like I said, I didn't catch up on Love After World Domination. I saw it in my queue. I'm stoked to watch it because the thumbnail looks adorable. I am stoked to meet another one of the princesses, because so far Shinigami Hime is fantastic, but she's the only one we know. I hope we get a little more interaction that tells us sort of why they joined, what their background is, stuff like that. The animal Kimono Hime, also very interesting. What got them here? Why do we have this board of princesses that all want to take over the world with this crazy mustachioed fiend? And I'm in it. I'm in for it. So I will be catching up on that this weekend. And then bringing you back the news on Monday, or dropping a 1-line tweet just so I remember my deal. Episode 7.5, the Watch Mojo episode. So that's our reviews. Again, stick with Skeleton Knight. It seems fun. It seems interesting. A new take on Skeleton Creepy Boy, versus Ainz Al Ghul in Overlord. We're seeing a little bit different take of somebody who gets stuck as a skeleton avatar in their video game, and we're loving it. Shachiku continues to be Bleach for the soul. Dawn of the Witch is interesting, but I think it's more interesting because I haven't seen Grimoire of Zero. I'm curious, anyone who is in on Grimoire of Zero, what they think of Dawn of the Witch. And then Tomodachi game, it's in my dropped category. Leave it there. Just leave it there. Until it's done, leave it there. Because someone's going to be like, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Oh, you haven't seen the twist yet. And then we're going to get to episode 12, and we're not going to get to the end of the run of the manga that has that. And we're never going to see the twist. And it's going to be like, oh, well, we just need a season 2. And it's going to, I don't want to get stuck in a show where, oh, you need to watch a season 2. That's not going to come when I already am not interested in the show. So smash that like button, share this with your friends so they can know how the season is going. Kampai, everyone, and let's get into the articles of the day. Tomodachi game gets better in season 3. Watch until season 6, then drop it because 7 and 8 weren't written when the show was made, so they ruined the ending. Oh my gosh, I'm getting flashbacks to when I watched Full Metal Alchemist. I like the anime only version, the original version of Full Metal Alchemist. I thought it was really fun and interesting. I get that there's some like questionable motives and some ass pulls at the end there because they didn't really know exactly how it would end. But in my heart, it's better than Brotherhood. There's some parts of Brotherhood where I don't like their motivations as well as the Full Metal Alchemist version, the FMA version. But that's me, and the internet's going to light that opinion on fire if I were to write it down and hand it to them on paper. On paper? And I want to do this one real quick. That's the nostalgia talking. I thought it was the nostalgia talking. And then I watched a guy spend 5.5 hours explaining in minute detail the differences between the anime, the manga, and the anime, and laying out the different changes that occurred in each one. And I mean, 5.5 hours of this, and specifically with greed and with the sort of the final boss, we will say, the changes in those two things, from Brotherhood to FMA. Those are the reasons that I'm a bigger fan of FMA versus Brotherhood. Whole show, overall, yeah, Brotherhood is closer to the manga. It is more accurate to the original creator's intent. I just think that what they did with the original anime was really well done. I am stoked for this weekend with the Miami International Autodrome. They have built a fake marina that you can't get to. It's just a big water marina that has like a boat in it for this track. This track was built to look like a constant track. Yeah, your football's going the wrong way. I think you need to throw your football downward so that it goes on paper. So this track looks like fun. Nice straight line. Our first corner, we've got a little swoopilies here, and then this should be pretty flat out. We've seen a lot of spin outs, especially here in corner 7. Then coming down, this is going to be flat out very fun to watch all weekend. This interests me. Massive waste of money. Yeah, it's true. It is. I can't imagine how much the people of Miami or the people of Florida paid to make this track occur, but it's only here to be a track, and then it's gonna go away. It's hilarious. It's the most unbreaded waste of money that you could have. But you're gonna be flat out, and then you're gonna pop open your DRS, assuming it's not raining that weekend, which it's Miami, it shouldn't be raining. And then coming down for this corner, I think 11 is going to be one of the most dangerous corners of the game. It's either going to be where everybody overtakes, or it's going to be where everybody gets overtaken because they're having a bad time. 12, 13, 14, nice and technical through here. Crossing through 16, and this is where we're going to see... we're either going to see Ferrari have their stuff open, and they're going to have been a little slow through Sector 1, and they're just going to blast through Sector 3 here, or Red Bull is just going to take off, and then turns 17, 18, 19 are going to be all theirs, coming into that DRS zone for that front stretch. And then we'll see sort of a repeat of what we saw in Saudi Arabia, I think, with the design on this track here. Making its F1 debut in May 2022, the Miami International Autodrome, or MIA, is a temporary circuit. Temporary! But one designed to have a permanent feel. Set in the Hard Rock Stadium complex of Miami Gardens, home to the NFL's famous Miami Dolphins franchise, the track is the culmination of development process that simulated no less than 36 different layouts before settling on a thrilling 19-turn lap that provides a street circuit vibe not dissimilar to Melbourne's Alberta Park. When was the first GP? The Niagara, yeah, of course, who cares? A circuit-like, it's got a bunch of corners, estimated top speed at 320 kilometers. That is so fast. That is so fast. Very exciting, though. Very exciting. I'm stoked. The number of mistakes in practice mean this is going to be an interesting race. And that... When you get, really, that's kind of true. Like anytime you're talking about like a sport, if that's your escape is watching sports, it's really you get to that level where the only way you win is when the other person messes up. The quarterback threw the football wrong and you're able to snag it. The other golfer whiffed a shot and now you're pulling ahead because you didn't. You know, and seeing 3 accidents in that second practice round, it's gonna be quite enjoyable. I'm excited for the highlights. I'm still not watching them on stream yet because I am still fighting an appeal with the with Formula One management, but we'll see. We will see. Sup, Blaine. Sup, call me John. I'm getting closer. Only 25 minutes late today. That's all right with me. I don't hand out tardy slips yet. We'll see about that. We get closer to monetization. We may have some penalties for being tardy, but for right now, you're gonna be okay. Alrighty. It's time. It's Shikimori time. Episode 1 of Shikimori. And I said, why are these people in love? Why does she have superpowers? Why is everything trying to kill this guy? I said another thing. I said, you know what? Their friends seem more interesting than them. This little quiet girl seems like she's got a much more interesting persona than the entire rest of the cast. I want to know what her backstory is. And we really haven't gotten it yet, but I'm hoping we get it soon, and I'm hoping we can follow Louis Kemner writing some articles about it and getting deep into Shikimori's friends lore, because that's, again, a prediction I'm making for his arc. But not his arc, but Paige Villasin has no bio, just a picture that's a little drawn. Oh, it's cute. Oh, I got here just in time, lol. Why are anime adaptations so bad? A video game so bad? Moriarty the Patriot, Spy Family. Best anime that star a parent is the pro tag. So we get some feeling of sort of what they write about. Let's see. Warning! Following contains minor spoilers for Shikimori is not just a cutie manga. Uh-oh, hold on. Are we gonna get manga spoilers? One second. Let me get this off the screen. Get this out of here. Da 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 ba ba da 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 bum ba da ba dum bum 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 bum. Okay, that's not really a spoiler. That's just saying that it's going to get better. What kind of spoiler is that? I know they're gonna have episodes about each of the characters. That's how these shows work. Wasn't this a spoiler previously? They're like, spoiler alert, we're gonna learn more about Shikimori. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's the name of the game in these shows. Okay, we're good. We're good. Shikimori is not just a cutie. He introduces a girlfriend who's perfect in every way. I would argue, and have argued. I won't argue this exact second, but we'll see. Shikimori is pretty, strong, and kind. So it's little wonder she's quickly captured the hearts of many. Again, with an appealing character design and a lovable personality, there's a lot to love about the titular. I'm 5 and this is funny. Shikimori. But there's another girl in the same show who has qualities that make her even more lovable. More lovable than Shikimori. I'm sorry, did you not see Shikimori is #1 on best girl list of week 3? How could you be more lovable than #1 best girl on the #1 best girl list that anybody ever votes on? I disagree. Yui Hachimitsu is short, strange, and is drawn to look like a character from a completely different show. Yet despite these imperfections... What? How is this... Shikimori's not just cutie, puts a new twist on anime's silliest running joke. Despite these imperfections. Okay. Or rather, because of them, she's managed to capture the hearts of many fans, maybe even more than Shikimori herself. Tell that to Twitter. Twitter is putting all kinds of juice on their keyboard for Shikimori and none for Hachimitsu, but they need to because her name means 8 Mitsu. Shikimori's not just a cutie, Hachimitsu is really weird. In a series grounded in realism, for the most part, Hachimitsu stands out as someone who is especially cartoony, from her character design to her character quirks. She's able to bend her body around like a slinky toy, somehow carry things even when her hands look like smooth nubs. What? That happens all the time in anime. Is that weird? Like when she's bowling and stuff? No one in this series questions this, just quietly accepting it as part of Hachimitsu's many unique quirks. In fact, her friends seem to love her precisely because she's so strange. Is this like she's an alien? She's an alien from a different show? Hachimitsu looks like she belongs to a completely different show. With her unchanging blank stare, lack of pupils, and spacey smile, her appearance calls a lot of attention, especially when compared to her friends' more realistic proportions. While characters with out-of-place designs are hardly an uncomic trope, especially in anime, this is rarely ever used in effect for female characters. These types of characters are typically used largely for comedic effect, which is probably why they're often male rather than female. Thanks, Call Me John. Good call out. Vegeta is the not accidental comic relief. He's very much a funny guy. Yeah, smash that like button, share with your friends. We're trying to compete right now with the Kino Casino. Jim Mediker's on making fun of Ethan Ralph probably, and I'm out here making fun of people who like Shikimori, so pick your battles, but I know which one you should be at. Nekozaki already plays the role of Shikimori's energetic female best friend! Best more than friends wishes she was, while Inuzuka is the supportive male best friend to Izumi. The other women are funny. Get over it. Exactly, Serranos. While it's clear from the get-go that Hachimitsu... Also, have you never watched a rom-com like harem from 90s or 2000s or 2010s or any of them? Like, typically, there's a funny woman character who's drawn differently. And I'm not talking about Aiken. Aiken. E-I-K, whatever. They're all drawn funny. All got freaking beach balls attached to their shirts. It's hilarious. That's just funny. And they always trip. She was made to be more of a simple comic relief character, acting as filler within Izumi and Shikimori's friend group. Nothing more, nothing less. Friendship? Now it's a healthy friendship? Louis, no! Later chapters, blah, 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 sooner, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip that one. Hachimitsu, not meant to look pretty or helplessly cute, nor is she the excitable best friend or the shy little sister. She's her own unique character who plays by her own rules. She has her own unique role, and Shikimori's not just a cutie, and the story wouldn't be the same without her. All right, Paige. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. When you have a character in a show, and the show is about a girl who does everything perfect and is cute and beautiful while doing it, and the other friend is she's straight up she's at least lesbian, let's be honest, and she's interested in that character but also is that competitive, wants to be the number one in all the sports and be cool, and so she's got that cool 100%. And then you have the character that can't run, but is trying, doing her best. She goes bowling and can barely carry the ball, but still gets a strike. Of course it's a unique character. You can't have everybody in this show that's a female be like perfect and great all the time and also look good doing it. You have to have someone that's kind of silly goofy to sort of be like, oh, well, we got to play off like what normal girls are kind of like, and having her be like business savvy and have some of those more the intelligence side of things really helps with the overall story. I wish she played off of Inuzuka a little bit more, because I think we'd get some funny back and forth. But holy shit, of course she's a unique character. Why would they draw a different person if they weren't a unique character? Or do you mean like unique to anime and you just haven't seen enough anime to know that she's not super unique when it comes to anime overall? Healthiest friendship, when they each clearly like each other in the 2000s harem kind of way. Yeah, these two, they like each other, but they won't say they love each other to their faces. That means they're the healthiest relationship you could have, not being honest with your own feelings. Let's be real here. You can't tell someone you love them when you've just met them and they've measured you while you're basically naked. But you start to have feelings for them because they think you actually are beautiful. You're not. You're a healthy friendship, really. Let's be fair. Get out of here. Oh. But I'm glad. I'm glad other people are seeing Hachimitsu and being like, you know what? Maybe this character is more interesting than Shikimori. We already know that her friend's more interesting than her because her friend has to deal with just being cool. Doesn't have the beauty and the I get to be cute or try to be cute kind of thing. Doesn't have the boyfriend that gets to make them the heartthrob amongst all of the Twitter people with blue, pink, and purple, and I don't remember the other colors in the bisexual flag, but it'll come to me at some point, I'm sure. The real question is how much longer until Inuzuka gets some love. I want the article. Inuzuka's the guy who you wish was your best friend, wanting to study and make sure the work gets done, and also willing to help out when you're in a trouble. Like, where's that article? That'll be the next one. That'll be the next one. I love this ad blocker crap. They're like, disable ad blocker, and I say no, and it's just okay. Hey, you know what? I could be, who isn't describing hair colors these days when you say, a bunch of different things. But speaking of titular, Louis Kemner, the titular writer, steps up to the plate once again 9 hours ago, giving us Shikimori balances out Izumi's relationship with his perfect girlfriend. I wish I knew what Louis Kemner sounded like so that I could try to copy his voice. Because I don't get it from his reading, like what he would sound like, but I should find something. I'm sure the internet has something. He's recorded something somewhere. I could find it. In Shikimori is not just a cutie. The titular heroine and her boyfriend's relationship is better balanced than Izumi's pratfalls would suggest. Why would someone being clumsy suggest the quality of a relationship? Blocks the anti-ad block. It straight up is. Every time you load this website, and there's a bunch of them that are like this, they're like, please disable ad blocker, and you say, I did, and then it just goes away. You're like, well, that was easy. And then you scroll, and like sometimes if a website's really clever, it'll check again and it'll pop up again, but not this one. Spoilers for episode 4 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. I have already done a rundown of this episode, so how could you be spoiling? We all know that in this episode we learned that Izumi actually likes Yor. I found the original draft. They redid it later when the show actually aired. They put just a random blonde with hold on, where'd it go? Why is scrolling through your own Twitter so difficult sometimes? They put a weird like a blonde chick in on on the poster in a bikini. But we all know the original cut of this scene went like this. You know, she knows she's not good enough for Yor, and Izumi would immediately fall for Yor because Yor cares. She makes cocoa and coffee and keeps a nice, tidy, and amazing house. Fantastic there. Fantastic. Also, what is pink drink? I saw this at Starbucks when I was going to Safeway today. I'm getting distracted here, but it's just like, yeah, we made this. It's pink. Was it Pepto-Bismol? Like, what does this actually taste like? Let's Starbucks pink drink. Pink drink recipe. You can make it at home. Oh, it's got a story. There's a story. Starting today, April 10th. This has been out for a while. I must not be looking. Pink drink, purple drink, officially joins. This is the drink of the most basic girls. Officially join Starbucks year-round beverage menu and be available for customers to order at participating stores across the U.S. in mobile order and pay. Starbucks Pink Drink is a light and refreshing beverage that features the sweet flavors of strawberry, acai refreshers with accents of passion fruit, and acai combined with coconut milk and topped with a scoop of strawberries in a Sunday afternoon. Gen Z nowadays don't even know what a strawberry is. This sounds... No, I guess it's not. In Japan, when we were there during the Cherry Blossom Festival, they had a Sakura Blossom, Sakura Blossom drink, and it was fantastic. It's sort of like cherry and vanilla at the same time. Very, very good. But someone actually had to say, who said this? Vivian Long, Starbucks Vice President of U.S. Retail Beverages. All right, you're the Vice President of like one of the largest cafe companies that I would even be aware of. We're thrilled that the beloved pink drink is joining the Starbucks menu just in time for the warmer spring months. The delicious and refreshing drink is a celebration of our customers and baristas' creativity and is just one of the 170,000 ways we craft beverages to meet each person's unique taste preferences. Come on down to Big Bill's Coffee Hut. We got 100, we got 200,000 drink combinations. Come and get them. Come and taste it. You mean the plant that grows chocolate on it? I think everybody knows what a strawberry is. They were also doing chocolate dipped strawberries, like buy them and they'd fresh dip them for you at the Safeway near me. That was interesting. I hadn't seen this before. Was this originally like a breast cancer awareness drink that someone like put together, or like what? Is enjoying fandom online as pink drink lovers continue to share photos on social media using hashtag pink drink. Use coconut milk instead of water in the strawberry acai refresher. Oh, so it's just someone's like, I want some cream in my refresher. I don't want my refresher to be too refreshing. I remember. So I'm in the Seattle area for anyone curious about my location. You're not going to get much more specific from me than that. However, my uncle worked at the first Starbucks, the one that burned down back in the 80s, I believe, was when the fire occurred. So coffee is a thing I've been a part of and enjoyed for a very long time. Very first drink was an almond mocha when I was 8 years old. And I finished it. It was a Starbucks inside a QFC, and there was a Starbucks in all the cooler trays, and we got it, and I had it finished before we hit the back of the store. And right then and there, I fell in love. I now drink probably 3 cups of black coffee plus some espressos a day. It is a habit and a drug I will not drop. I will not leave behind. But I cannot, for the life of me, believe what cafe culture has turned into in America with some of these weird smoothie drinks and all this other stuff that they put together and fruity things. And it's just, it reminds me of what Jamba Juice was when I was in high school. Of the, let's go get Jamba. I need a health booster C+ and orange up my anus. And you're like, what? Why? Who did that? And they're like, hey, wheatgrass shot? And you're like, no, I don't want that. And I have flashbacks every time I see a non-coffee drink leave the barista counter anywhere. I'm like, what? Why did you come here? You could have gone anywhere else that has drinks. Super weird to me. Super weird. Just like the taste of Louis Kempner. It looks like strawberry milk. Yeah, it looks like a kefir, like those yogurty milk things that pregnant ladies drink. Or people who need to poop, I guess they would also drink that. I used to work at Jamba. People order the most nuts drinks. Yeah, because you gave them a list of all the weird shit they could throw into a cup. And they would be like, oh, and they'd like find like the like closest fruit that they were interested in. They're like, oh, but then I can modify it. And they're just going down the list of all the crap they want to modify with. Stupid humans with their, I'm gonna make it custom. Now it's mine. I don't know why I'm so mean about this. There's nothing inherently wrong with getting a drink that is like, oh, this is my own custom drink, but it just nauseates me. Maybe it's because I've spent the last like 2 decades going into Starbucks and saying, can I have a Campana? Or going into some of the smaller coffee huts and be like, can I have a Campana? And they look at me like, you want what? Like, just 2 shots with a little bit of whipped cream on top, please. And I'm like, oh, you should have just said that. Get out of here. People came in with a mission. They would read out 15 changes to a drink. They had it all planned from the start. Oh, this was their drink. This was their custom menu item, but you just wouldn't put it on the menu. And if you would just have put the Alyssa on that menu so she could come in and say, I need an Alyssa, please. 16 ounce. And no wheatgrass this time. It would just be a lot easier for people changing a billion ingredients for menu items is pretty annoying. Thank you, because they always are in front of you. And then the worst part is when you understand what they're trying to order before the person taking the order does, and they're repeating it and you're like, yeah, I get it. Just give her that one, but not like leave that out, put that in. And the person behind the counter is like, so you want the banana in it? She's like, no, I said no banana. No! And you want to like jump over the counter, throttle the person taking the order, write it down yourself, make her a drink, and throw it in her face before you then get on the other side of the counter and tell the passed out guy what your order is, but you already were on that side. So you reach over the screen, you hit the button so that it sends it off to whoever's mixing the drinks, and they get your drink out before any of these people could have ever finished any of this crap. Yeah, no, I feel it. I can get behind that. Oh. I can't believe is Jamba Juice like still a thing? I can't think of the last time I physically saw a Jamba Juice. I think they're all like bubble tea has sort of taken its place in this area. Oh, there's a bunch all over. Okay. Well, I say that, but there's one way down in South Center, then there's one way up in Factoria. There used to be like 4 on the way between those two. One coworker mixed up cayenne pepper and cinnamon my first shift as a team lead. Ooh. Both of those sound like bad choices for fruity smoothie drinks. I like the pepper because it gives me that little zing as I'm eating it. Oh my goodness. They were starting boba as you left. I like boba tea. When they do the mini bobas, the mini bobas are really good, but I've always kind of liked milk tea. It's super sweet. You get like the jasmine milk tea. It's like a milkshake. Like now that I'm older, it's like I don't need a chocolate and ice cream, but having tea and sweetener that's my milkshake now, is getting like a jasmine boba. Oh, amen, Serranos. It really wouldn't be so bad if everyone worked a few years of service industry in their life. Amen. I um I have worked as a busboy. I have worked catering. Catering was probably the worst work to do, but also like the best experience, because then you're dealing with weddings and events and places where people are just getting hammered. Yeah, and you're in charge of making sure that they continue to get food, and you're cleaning stuff up, and you're running back and forth. But it doesn't matter how well you avoid the dance floor. Some drunk idiot finds a way to fling his elbow into you and knock all of the wine glasses off your tray, and then you've got to spend the next hour cleaning up glass and booze. Plus, you're covered in it. Luckily, you wear those suits that you're like, this will just all get bleached away and I don't need to worry about it. But oh my goodness. Yeah, I think the service industry is one of the most important things, because people forget that anything you do is propelled by taking care of somebody else. You come to anything with that idea, that mindset of like, all right, you know what, this is my job and I need to do it to make sure that this other person gets taken care of. If everybody could come to, their position, whatever their job was, like that, you're going to have so much more grace, so much more sympathy, so much more of that, we're in this together, we're going to get through this, it's going to be okay. And then on the converse, the other side of that, of course, is that everybody knows what it's like to be on the other side of it. When you're sitting there and there's that Karen in front of you that's just being a bitch to the person, you drop a couple extra bucks on that tip. You're like, yeah, I've been there here, I'm sorry I had to deal with that, and it's like, they're getting paid, they're getting their tips, you had to deal with it, they should have to deal with it, but you still have that little bit of extra heart where you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I know that sucks. It was a coffee smoothie, so it needed cinnamon. I have never said that in my life. This is the first time you'll ever hear those words leave my mouth. Coffee needs one thing, and that's more coffee. Maybe some almond, maybe a little cream if you're a little squeamish. You're feeling sweet, you can get yourself a mocha. All right. That is, what is it? The sidebar? I don't know. I feel like that was quite the tangent. I enjoyed it though. That was a fun tangent. I haven't thought about Jamba in a while, and it led me to that. The popular oh man, this show. The popular Dere Shikimori enjoys a wholesome relationship with her gentle boyfriend Izumi Yu. And for the most part, fans agree she's the stronger of the two. Thinking it was a horchata, so it was a cinnamon coffee thing. You know what? Horchata is one of those things that I thought I would like. I went to, the Mexican restaurant that you go in and you're the only white person there, and there's that machine that's just constantly like juicing the horchata around in circles, and you're like, that kind of looks like chocolate milk. Maybe I'll try that. So you get your platos, no tacos, and you get your horchata, and you sit down and you take a drink, and you're like, oh, this tastes like cinnamon. And that's all I could taste. It just filled my schnoz with cinnamon, and I was like, I don't like drinking cinnamon. It isn't good. But I needed something, because I always dump a ton of hot sauce on all of my food, and I have to like go Doesn't matter where I am, if it's a Mexican place, if it's a Chinese place, if it's, what it is. I've always got to ask for, can I have the real hot sauce? Can I have the actually hot sauce? Can I have the real spicy sauce? Can you get me the real 5-star? Because I always drown it with heat. I love the feeling of like the endorphin rush and how you get warm, and it really opens up your palate so you can taste more of the food while you're having some really hot stuff. And I just remember being like, I don't like this, but I have to drink it because I have too much hot sauce on my food now. And on that note, if you go to a pad thai place or a curry place, really any Thai place that does spicy stuff, they're like, how many stars? I went to a place one time, and my buddy was always like, yeah, I can take hot stuff. Yeah, I can take hot stuff. All right, let's do some hot stuff. Let's go get me 5-star. He said, quote, get me some 5 stars. It was pad thai or something. He's like, make it 5 stars. I want it hot as hell. That was his exact quote. And I said, cool. Yeah, I'm down. He was paying, so I went over. And I placed the order, and so I was placing the order to go, and I said, I need it 5 stars. I want it hot as hell. And this little Vietnamese guy leans over. The scale doesn't stop at 5. And I said, no! How old? I think I was like 22, 23 at the time, and I was like, I've spent 2 decades thinking the top of the scale was 5 stars, and there's more to the scale? And he said, yes, why am I going into my Hispanic voice? He said, after 5 stars, we use a different spice for the next 5. And I was like, there's another spice? All right. So I didn't want to make it too crazy, just in case. So for my buddy, I got an 8-star. And then for myself, I got a 10-star. And I have never in my life cried at my workplace the way I did while I was eating that. And I will contest that I was sweating out of my eyeballs. That they weren't tears. I was not crying. I was sweating out of my eyes. It was so hot. It was unbelievable. It felt like you were just licking like the inside, like cutting open like ghost peppers or nagadrolikas or scorpions or trinidads, any of those, chopping them open and just licking out the juice, just squishing it on your tongue and then throwing it away. Every bite of a Penang curry only tasted like the hottest capsaicin I've ever had in my life. It was insane. My friend, I got him an 8-star pad thai. He takes a bite. He's like, wow, that's pretty hot. Guzzles his like Pepsi or whatever, the heck he was drinking, and then takes another bite, and he's like, and starts hiccuping. He's like, I've never hiccuped from spice, but I can't. He had 2 bites and left. Nowadays, I get a 6-star because I like the flavor. I like that little bit extra heat that comes from whatever that extra little bit is they throw in there, but it's don't do it unless you're really masochistic. Or you just really, really like spice and you haven't tasted flavor in years, like my grandmother, who she would get the whatever hot sauce in like a little side to go cup, and she would like pour it in her like burrito and like take a bite and then drink some of the hot sauce as she was eating. And I was like, what? Does everything taste like cardboard when you're 80? Why are you drinking the hot sauce like it's your drink with your burrito? This ain't a clamato over here. You're just drinking hot sauce. So if you're like that, maybe go with the 10-star, but I would advise against it if you're at a Thai restaurant. Thai restaurant run by Vietnamese people. It's very specific, I'm sure. That's enough about restaurants and food. I'm gonna get hungry and then I'm not gonna know what to do. Okay. Yeah, does anybody not agree that she's stronger than Izumi? The only argument Oh man, that day was insane. The only argument against her being stronger is that Izumi can take a beating. He grew up with everything just destroying him. So maybe he's learned to survive. Certainly over 100k Scovilles. It had to be, because I have the Last Dab hot sauce, and I use that regularly. And that one, I think the hot sauce clocks in at 1,000,000 Scovilles. So it was beyond that, or it was like a whole bottle of that. As far as like equivalent heat. Unlike the clumsy and unlucky Izumi, Shikimori is confident, popular, athletic, and highly skilled. But as Shikimori is not just a cutie, episode 4 shows, this relationship isn't so lopsided after all. In many romance pairs, best rom-com anime to watch after Horimiya. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Watakoi, fantastic. Okay, Link paying off. Watakoi, really good. Maid-sama is a really fun one as well. Not nearly as good as Watakoi. Science Fell in Love kind of bored me. But I think that maybe because I went to school with this guy, like this character. So I literally went to school with him. I'm sitting there in a business technology class, learning about different types of business and how they apply it to the tech sector. And one of the like slides was like the different types of ways to earn an income. So you can either trade your time for money, you can own something and sell its use for money, and all this kind of stuff. And when it came to that, you can own something and someone and sell it to someone for their use. The person next to me, who's this guy, was like, "That's just not right." And I turned and I was like, "I'm sorry, what's not right about making money off of something you own? It's just not fair." And I was like, "But life's not fair." That's not how life works. That's not how any of this works. So every time this show starts and this guy starts getting analytical, I remember that guy and I'm like, I can't watch this show. It might be fantastic, but I can't get through it. Kanojo, Mo Kanojo, no Kanojo. No, don't do that third one. I like this show. It's funny. It's silly. You've got the Giga Chad protagonist. It's like, I want to date you both. And it's going to work out because that's what he said. Very fun show overall. So yeah, there we go. A link we can agree with rather than these are the worst things about the 2000s. Get out of here, other links. The narrative will find ways to put the two lovers on even ground, even if one appears to be dominant, and Shikimori finds a few small but meaningful ways to pull it off. That puts it in the same league as Komi Can't Communicate and My Senpai is Annoying, among other titles. Yes, okay, confirmed. I loved My Senpai is Annoying. It's a fantastic relationship, not a relationship, people working together, and people going out and making those little connections in the workplace. It's so fantastic at taking two disparate people and finding a way to make them connect, and because your lack fill and someone else's strengths will fill each other up, and vice versa. Your strengths will fill up their lack, and it really builds so well. Komi Can't Communicate, where we have a cute couple that are working together to make sure that her dreams and goals come true. are working together to make sure a goal comes true. Shikimori and Izumi, like, we don't know what their goal is. Their goal. Okay, they are pretty realistic when it comes to like a high school couple, because their goal is to make it to next week, where we're gonna watch it whatever they do again, and there's no real long term anything with them. As a you saw it all the time through high school or middle school, I guess. In episode 4 of Shikimori is not just a cutie, the narrative once again portrays Izumi as the gentle one who needs protecting. Shikimori passes on having a classic beach episode in favor of going to the river instead, so she can suit Izumi's preferences. They weren't his preferences. I think Izumi would rather go to the beach if he could take it, but everybody's trying to be nice because, you know, he can't really do it. And why is it just him? Like, it's Izumi and Hachimitsu that can't deal with the sun. So I mean, we could talk about both of them. She can protect her boyfriend in all kinds of ways, and it seems Izumi owes her a lot of favors by now. He sometimes repays her with romantic gestures, such as their informative date in episode 3. But Izumi has other ways to level the playing field. Ooh, a little sake burp caught up to me. Nekozaki notes that Shikimori has Izumi in the palm of her hand as she humorously pressures him into buying a swimsuit for the upcoming river adventure, even if he's not too keen on the idea. However, episode 4 reverses when Izumi teases her about buying a stylish swimsuit, even if Shikimori nervously tries to hide that fact. He can read his girlfriend like a book when he teases her, which prompts Nekozaki to say that Shikimori is the one in Izumi's hand instead. The teasing goes both ways, and this might continue in future episodes. Izumi's arms and legs may be clumsy, but his tongue proves rather smooth. Ooh, do with that what you will, Twitter. Everyone was down for the... Yeah, because when you're talking about cooling off in the summer, a float down the river, like, I don't know where the rest of the chat is, like, geographically, but floating the river is, like, the thing we do in the Northwest, because there's just a river everywhere, or a little lake everywhere. You know, some people go all the way over to the ocean. They want to head down to ocean shores or forks or any of that. This person rewatched an episode. Did they? Did they say that? Did I miss that? And also, this person is Louis Kemner, and I'll have you not forget the name. Remember the name, Louis Kemner. LK. Smooth tongue. Later, episode 4 balances the young lovers even more when Shikimori and Izumi have a pleasant chat that evening. They both look at the North Star through their bedroom windows, then realize they wish they could see each other's faces as they say goodnight. When they hang up, each loudly says how they want to see the other's kind face, and that prompts someone in their respective households to comment on how noisy they're being. You like fishing a lot? I love fishing, Serranos, in the PNW. I'm primarily a trout fisher, but sometimes I throw on a popper and we can catch some. Technically, they're largemouth, but they're pretty small in most of the deposits around here. But yeah, I love throwing a line. It's so relaxing. There's no way they would know about what happened in episode 3 without watching it or taking notes. Both are extremely sad. Taking notes. They read and wrote an article about episode 3 already, so of course they know what happened. How could you forget episode 3? It's the you know, I actually remember now that I'm trying to make fun of it. Episode 3 was the it was the movie episode, the movie theater where he gets the tickets and he's like, "Oh, we can go see a movie," and then Thanks for taking up brain space, Shikimori. I could use that to talk about fish more, but I can't. Also, a lot of times, Japan's a very technologically advanced country that is very backwoods at the same exact time. You will have a robot come serve you a meal, and the place that you went to doesn't have a functioning website. It looks like a GeoCities, you know, and their coding is very messed up because they have 2 types of coding, unfortunately. Um, so they have a lot of like very backwards things at the same time that they have very new things. There was a long time where like the first trips that we went to Japan, it was cash only because people couldn't take cards. Nowadays, everybody's taking cards. Classic anime, everybody's got flip phones. In this show, they've got smartphones. Smartphones are more and more ubiquitous in Japan, and lots of people have them. Why aren't they on a FaceTime call? Why are they on a phone call? Do they not have a data plan? Do they not have Wi-Fi in their house? Like, what? I wish I could see your kind face. Okay. Chink. FaceTime. Zoom. Google Meet. There's plenty of ways you could have seen your face. Super weird. When Shikimori and Izumi are separated, their feelings of longing are perfectly even. Neither can protect or tease the other about it, because they're not next to each other. What? When it comes to the most intimate and important matters, the powerful Shikimori and her boyfriend are 50-50, which explains how their relationship is still going strong. Too strong. Yeah, no, too strong. What is the most intimate and important matter? The fact that she bought something? Getting one of those totally not creepy robot maids when they eventually release? That terrified me. And you know what's the most terrifying? Is the way it pretends to walk. Hold on, let's see if I can pull up that video where it like turns around. Hold on. I saw this as a GIF. Anime robot maid? No, I'm just getting anime about maids. Oh, these things, yeah. The heck are these things called? Robot creator reveals his master plan. You're talking about these things, right? These terrifying things? Oh, I gotta be careful with the ads on this site, I'm sure. Hold on, can we get, there we go. Where like the face is like a TV screen, so like the eyes can move all over. Masito. Yes. Ah! Oh no! That's what, so it's this. It's the bobbing. It's how they fake, because I think they're on wheels. I think if you look closely down here, they're actually rolling, but they make the torso bob up and down. And it's like, I would rather it just be like a creepy robot that goes back and forth than have that uncanny little thunk, thunk, thunk. Like that's, you're talking about turning it into a horror movie. That's the horror movie part, is as it kind of like comes down the hallway towards you with that little bump, 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 bump. Ah! It's so creepy. And it's got gloves, like a robot hand with gloves. That also weirds me out. It's so articulated. Oh, this is the one I saw. They ring it and it turns around. Dun, 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 and then it blop, blop, blops over, and then it slows down. Dun, 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 dun. No, it's not going to be scarier when they get legs, because legs are weak. Legs are easy. I can knock legs out from underneath them. I can break legs. I can't break wheels the same way. If they get like tank treads, that's when it'll be scary. Or when they get like 100 legs and they turn into those wind beasts. Picture one of these underneath one of those maid dresses. Just has all these little click, 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 crazy spidery wheel leg things going on. Just walking down the beach because it's got some wind and it's walking down the beach. Those things are super weird, super weird. So no, I'm not going to get one of those. They terrify me, to be honest. It's the nose, probably, and that walk. If they fix the walk, and if they make it not wear gloves, maybe. Still kind of weird. In what way are they 50-50 in this relationship? She buys something kind of sexy or cute or wants to dress up, and he's like, "What is it?" And she's like, "No, I don't want to show you," and gets embarrassed. Like, the fact that she can be embarrassed makes this suddenly a 50-50 anime. I think the fact that she needs to protect him is still a little parasitic with this whole relationship. The events of episode 4 may remind Shikimori fans of similar scenes in other recent rom-com. Is this the same article? Did we get two? Oh, the best ones you've probably never heard of. Venus to Mamoru. She looks familiar, but I couldn't say off the top of my house. Wolf Girl and Black Prince is funny. Love Chunibyo. Who hasn't heard of Chunibyo? Like, is that a thing? Are there people who haven't heard of Love Chunibyo? Canon? People haven't heard of Canon! Canon? Keep reading. All right, get out of here. They're just like 4. All right. Where a seemingly one-sided relationship is balanced out when the two characters focus on what really matters. An example is My Senpai is Annoying, when Futaba and Takeda exchanged favors after each of them caught a nasty head cold, which evened the playing field after Takeda had been established as the stronger, more confident lover. He was seemingly perfect until he fell ill and took his turn as the one who had to be nursed back to health. Futaba's confident in the entirety of that show. I don't know how them taking care of each other makes it so it's like, well, he needs help too. It's like, yeah, people aren't always great. I would only set it to the creepiest setting, like be in my room when I wake up or when I fall asleep. Literally wake up to it staring at you. Oh, but you'd have to have like a Japanese futon so that it could actually like roll up and be like over you. Because if you have any kind of American bed, it's not going to be able to lean over and look down at you. Another example is Komi Can't Communicate, the high school rom-com where the gorgeous and ultra-popular Komi was, in any social setting, much stronger than her plain friend Tadano Hirohito. Komi was not. Everyone thinks she is. That's the whole point. That's the joke. That's the thing where everybody's like, Komi's amazing. She's the best. But she's like, I can't talk to people. I can't do it. But when they talked on the phone one evening, they spoke as equals with none of Komi's admirers to get in the way. Then, like, there's plenty of times where her admirers don't go in the way. How is this? This is going to be like the 10 times they could talk. Komi can't read to extent of Ren Yamai's obsession. Yeah, she wants to lick every inch of her, and it's kind of funky. It's one thing to think someone's pretty, but to then want to, like this is an internet simp in real life. She's like, show feet, but not just show feet so I can lick them. And then when I'm done licking them, I'm going to dry it off with my own hair, and I'm not going to tell you which hair. Stronger in social settings, literally couldn't talk. Exactly. Then, like Shikimori and Izumi, both Komi and Tadano reacted with noisy glee when they got off the phone, happy at having their first real conversation out of school. That was great because it was their first real conversation. It was basically Komi's first real conversation, looking at even her family life where, like, she doesn't really talk to them either. It's the first time she's talked to somebody outside of her home, and I think that was what was so great about it. Not just that now we're on an even playing field. Oh, no, you're not. That exchange balanced them perfectly. And episode 4 of Shikimori is Not Just a Cutie imitated that scene just right, down to the use of cell phones and noisy exclamations of happiness after hanging up. It's a good sign moving forward. thank you for not using the dress up darling scene where they're both on phones and it does the cute thing where it like has the phone in the middle and it's cut so you can see both of them like they're on the same bed. That was a fun, adorable scene. Thanks for not using that scene because that scene was amazing and cute and adorable as they were building their relationship. And these scenes we already saw had no connection to this idea that Shikimori and Izumi are now equal. He was able to say one thing that got her embarrassed. She could be embarrassed just because the friends are there. We don't know that she's embarrassed. And if they're in such a great, healthy relationship, why is she embarrassed that she bought a swimsuit? Isn't that supposed to be a thing? Like, oh, I bought a swimsuit, so I'll look nice at the beach, and it'll be new and different and fun and exciting. Like, isn't that just a thing that she would want to do? Why would that be an embarrassing thing for her? I don't understand it. But the arc is coming a little faster than I thought. I predicted writing an article about how the friends are interesting characters, and it's really cool and unique, and then sliding back into the well, they're actually a great couple, and I was expecting it to have to take another episode really to get Louis into this side of the arc where he slides back into thinking that Shikimori is a good couple again. But interesting that we see it in the same episode. Really loaded both of those in shot. I still gotta say the ability for this person to write. I'm assuming this man to write. I'm just gonna assume it's Louis. Louis the man is insane. Insane. Being embarrassed is just for show. Being behind closed doors, she's the yandere. No, she's a dere. She's a love. She can't be a yandere. She's a kudere, if anything, because she's so cute. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So that was 9 hours ago. And the previous Shikimori article was 2 days ago. Okay. So there's a couple of days between those. But then between the two, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 articles between those two. Every 11 articles, this guy can write another one about Shikimori. It's crazy. But we may have found the redemption arc sooner than expected. We'll have to find out. Because he believes it's a Nisekoi anime! Tell me Louis Kemner doesn't watch the show! Go ahead, tell me! This was my exact tweet. This was my exact inclination. I was like, this is giving me Nisekoi vibes. You know, maybe it's the kind of mafia feel to it, but I'm getting it. Right off the bat, Couple of Cuckoos borrows ideas from the rom-com series Nisekoi, but with a few tweaks. Spring 2022 anime season is in full swing, and that includes a fresh set of rom-com anime series, many of which take place in modern high schools, a familiar setting for the genre. That includes the all-new series, A Couple of Cuckoos. Sorry, it's supposed to be cuckoos. The word couple makes me think it's cuckoos. And it's anime, so you know what can you think? Which is a fun series to watch between episodes of Shikimori and Aharen-san. More than a few elements of A Couple of Cuckoos may feel familiar to experienced anime fans. Yeah. What's inspiration doesn't have to come from quality, doesn't have to come from greatness. You can be inspired by things that are mid, things that are meh, things that are heh. You know, you can be like, I like the way that's going, but I think I can do it better. You know, you can get meh inspo. This anime is based on a recent manga series of the same name, but it nonetheless treads familiar ground and may remind fans of many similar titles. Most of all, the overlooked rom-com Nisekoi. Prove it. How is that overlooked? Wasn't Nisekoi like one of the biggest ending arguments in like recent memory? maybe just not online. Maybe not online. Maybe people who weren't online weren't watching it. Maybe that's the problem. Both have a similar initial premise, but of course, A Couple of Cuckoos also makes sure to set itself apart from author Naoshi Komi's lengthy Nisekoi series. See how I had to stop to say cuckoo? It just doesn't want to roll off my tongue that way. Very pretty picture. All it took was the premiere episode of A Couple of Cuckoos to establish this anime as the must-watch for fans of Nisekoi and similar titles. Tell me what those other titles are. What was the ending? Isn't the ending, it goes with a Syscon ending, if I remember? Oh no, I'm thinking of Orimo. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what everybody was watching and excited about. But I feel like people who like Nisekoi also liked Orimo. Maybe that's similar titles. Maybe that's where I'm getting confused. The story begins with an earnest young man named Umino Nagi gets ready to meet his bio parents after being raised by his goofy but caring step-parents. However, Nagi doesn't wish to fully return to his biological family, intending to stay with the Amano family that raised him from birth after a baby swap incident at the hospital, which is still stupid. That's still one of the stupidest things you could say. He sets out to meet his new family. It's like, yeah, if you're raised by someone from birth, like not even like, oh, they adopted me, just they thought you were their baby, like you're not gonna leave them. He didn't finish either of them. Well, they're probably both the same. Hold on, let me Nisekoi ending. Oh, this isn't explained. This is long. So most people wanted Chitoge. Okay, it looks like it's just one of those things where the person that everybody wanted lost, and there was just a lot of people that didn't like that. That's what I may remember. This is where the Nisekoi style shenanigans begin in A Couple of Cuckoos. By sheer chance, Nagi meets his bio parents' foster daughter, Amano Erika, the baby with whom Nagi had been swapped by accident, and Nagi and Erika were thus raised by each other's biological parents. And what's more, the Amanos want Erika to enter an arranged marriage with an unknown boy. As fate would have it, that boy is Nagi, and Erika and Nagi must go along with this arrangement for the good of both families. Again, the premise alone is so difficult to try to just state that I think that's this anime's hardest thing. Just say, swapped babies, meet each other's families, arranged in marriage. Now I get it. This amusing premise echoes the arranged relationship between Ichijo Raku and the hot-headed tsundere Kirisaki Chitoge in Nisekoi, with these false lovers merely playing along to keep their respective mobster families happy. Raku and Chitoge didn't get along at first, but over time the relationship became more genuine. Even if a love triangle soon formed between Chitoge, Raku, and Raku's original crush, Onodera Kosaki. This raises all kinds of possibilities for A Couple of Cuckoos, from Nagi getting serious about his current crush, Hito, to Nagi and Erika going on tense but amusing false dates to keep up appearances. If Nagi isn't careful, he might end up with a harem, just as Raku once did. However, involving one might dilute the core baby swap theme of this anime and weaken its narrative. This may be a show where bare bones cast of characters is best. How it differs! Even if A Couple of Cuckoos feels like Nisekoi 2.0, the anime is already taking steps to set itself apart from its forebear. To begin with, the two main characters' families are not feuding with each other. In fact, they want to get closer. There was Romeo and Juliet theme to Nisekoi, but A Couple of Cuckoos avoids that route entirely, meaning the drama will have to come from some other source. Perhaps that source could be the potential love triangle or a serious clash of personalities between Erika and Nagi. Alternatively, Nagi's foster sister, Sachi, might disapprove of Erika and do something about it, whether Erika and Nagi like it or not. I get the feeling that she doesn't, and I'll talk about that more with the next one. that I wanna review. A couple of cuckoos also promises to be more wholesome than Nisekoi, perhaps due to changing sensibilities or trends in the anime community. Erika may have a bit of a temper, but she isn't a violent gorilla like Chitoge and can actually listen to people rather than losing her cool and thrashing her false boyfriend. Some anime fans are concerned about the tsundere beating up her dense boyfriend paradigm, which might even normalize violence at times. Whoa! We just... the anime girl beat up her man, so I guess Amber Heard is justified. That's what I'm getting from this. Why would that, like, the whole point of that is that it's comedic, because that shouldn't occur in most of those anime settings. It's not a normalization unless you're like being Clockwork Orange trained that is just how humans interact. Oh my goodness. Erika sees some faults in Nagi, but she's not about to pummel him about it. Instead, she's more willing to talk things out, and that puts her well ahead of Chitoge. She sets a good example of a tough but fair anime girlfriend who could look after herself without resorting to questionable means to express her anger or dissatisfaction. Right? It's just... Yeah, we're normalizing violence if we do that. But it's good they're not, because they're not normalizing violence. Like, what? I don't... Yor kills people. Is that normalizing mother violence? Like, what are we talking about here? What was this article? Watch, continue. I got through easy. It's the OG harem anime. I'm excited for the return of this. Because they're gonna be making a new one, if I believe. But would this... Yeah, Love Triangle. I don't know. I think you have to have at least 3 girls for it to be a harem. I know. Demon Lord Reborn is a typical nobody. Ginny's like, it's okay if we have a harem, but she's not saying just the 3 of them are a harem. 2 girls and 1 guy. That's not a harem. That's just a love triangle. You gotta... The harem anime is very specific. It's gotta have more. All right. Man, Louis Kemner is just an eternal content fountain. Just at all times. Couple of Cuckoos threatens to use romance's most disturbing theme. Ba-ba-bum! In the A Couple of Cuckoos anime, Umi no Nagi's foster sitter Sashi is getting ideas from her shoujo manga, and they're not exactly wholesome. Oh, he's not my brother. From Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I don't get this feeling. I know we had that that line at the end of the show, but the fact that she sort of comes to the idea of like, oh, I'm gonna put my sister's chopsticks in the family chopstick container. I think she's excited. We're gonna see her grow to love the idea of having a big sister. I think that's gonna be really where it goes and comes from. 2 or more girls is polygamy. 3 or more is a harem. Thank you for the definitions. Domestic violence. This anime is bringing back domestic violence, making people be bad. I want to know, because I'm not really interested in this whole thing. Possibility of her foster. She cries because she doesn't want to lose her brother. Of course not. They've been a family this whole time. She sees a scene involving a foster brother and sister who realize they're not related and thus might end up together. That, combined with Sachi's jealous feelings in episode 2, suggests she wants her brother to herself. She suggests she wants her brother to herself and views the cheerful Dede Dede Amano Erika as a rival, but you wouldn't. I think she says family. Tujis. Oops. I don't know what that means. Is that just your keyboard spazzing out there, or are you trying to say something? John, are you trying? Speak to me, John. What are you saying, John? So far, a couple of Cuckoos is setting up Sachi as a Brokon foster sister with strange feelings of possessive jealousy, trying to chase off any girls who want to get close to Nagi. She's not doing very well at that. It's likely that a love triangle will soon form. Love triangles soon form. Best love triangles in recent high school anime. Number 1, Nisekoi. Number 2, girlfriend no girlfriend. Number 3, Toradora. Number 4, Fruits Basket has a tangled web of romance. It's more than 3, but not quite 4. Horimiya has a love triangle too. Why are you trying to shoehorn triangles into a show that doesn't have triangles? Stupid article. The way this show is going, I can see her feeling like she is losing her brother once he goes off to live away for 2 weeks. Yes. Losing her brother, yes. Wanting to bang her brother, no. I don't see the story going that way with this idea of her just wanting family and wanting family to stay together. Now, of course, they could write it that way, but we've seen that. We've been there. We've done that. Who cares? Accident, lol. Okay. Well, interaction's interaction, accident or no, so I'll take what I can get. Bad article, but I could see Sachi trying to woo him under certain circumstances. Or here's how. One second. Let me finish this. Then I'll say how it could be done more interestingly. It's likely a love triangle should soon form, but Sachi won't necessarily be involved, right? Because we've got the girl that he's chasing, and then Erika. Nagi, Erika, and the charming hero in the triangle instead, with Sachi coming to grips with her feelings and appointing herself Nagi's number 1 supporter and advisor rather than a competitor for his heart. Or she might take her biological sister Erika's side, helping her get together with Nagi after defeating Hiro and any other rivals, and she could certainly prevent Nagi from indulging in full-blown harem. With a beloved foster brother and biological sister in her life now, Sachi might decide to be team family and help both of them fend off anyone who might fall for them. If any male suitors arrive to try and win Erika's heart, Sachi can fend them off and show them what it means to be a devoted sister, biological and otherwise. That should be a fine way for a couple of Cuckoos to dodge the increasingly creepy forbidden romance subgenre. I think it might be interesting if she shows up at the house and doesn't, like, she's like, I'm gonna stay here because I'm worried you're gonna take my brother and he's never going to come back, and she has this, like, from her perspective, she's doing all of these things so that she won't lose her brother and she can keep her family together. But to have it be misinterpreted by Erika and get one of those, it's confusing anime because we won't just talk about how we feel situations where we have one person like, wait, why are you doing this? And the other person having perfectly normal, wholesome, I want to keep my family together thoughts. But it will be interesting to see how, because again, that one little scene of these are big sister's chopsticks, One-san, and then putting them in the family chopstick cup really indicate to me that she is going to have that feeling of family, that she's going to want to get to know her big sister more. And that might be what gets her into the house, is she's like, I've lived with you for years. I want to know my sister. That's why she moves in, and that moves us into it. Black-haired yandere-looking girls are the best design in anime. Who is your favorite black-haired yandere? Let's start diving, because whenever I type in yandere, it's a lot of pink hairs. As to be expected, the yandere character. Tractors. Let's see. I don't know that she's a yandere. Oh, types of yandere. I didn't know there were types of yandere. Look at this. Are you the only one who loves me? The harmless yandere. The obsessive yandere. Shuchakugata. The stalker. Stalkagata. Self-sacrifice. Jikojisegata. Great look. Honestly, her hot look takes away from it. Izongata. Dokusengata. Monopoly. Suhaigata. By Target. The love interest. I didn't know. Man, yandere is a deep chasm. Are you the only one who loves me? Oreski. Ah, this girl, the one that they did all the memes about metamorphosis with. Like, I've seen this one before. Uh-oh. And then it's a completely different take overall. But they have the side by sides all the time with this and metamorphosis. You think the hot look takes away from it? So wouldn't that be that you think the other look is hotter? You can think the other look is hotter. Like, this is the real hot look. Put these glasses back on. Put your hair back in side braids. Oh, Anna. This list has Mikasa as a yandere. I kind of get, I guess. 10 out of 10, great design. 10 out of 10. It's 10. 10 out of 10. Gunba Morga, 10 out of 10. Hisoka. Hisoka's a yandere. Griffith is a yandere. Esdeath is a yandere. This is so funny how Google categorizes things sometimes. Oh, in show, in universe, they call one and the other hot. Awesome. All right. Well, tonight has been fun. This was a wonderful, wonderful time. We talked, oh, look, there's just the 15 best yandere characters. Let's just roll this list real quick. Rolo from Code Geass, and I don't care how it's supposed to be pronounced. Koto no ha Katsura from School Days. Misa Amane is not a yandere, is she? Akana Hiyama. Shu Tsukiyama. Maybe it'll be a little more telling about what I think about these. If I say that's not a yandere or that is a yandere, it'll be like, well, I can see where Blaine tastes like. Anna Nishiki no Miya from Shimoneta, which is such a good show. Megami Shimizu from Shiki. Shiki is a good one. Should definitely watch that. Lucy? Really? I guess. Yeah. Shion Sonozaki. Higurashi. Yuno Gasai. Future Diary. The how is the face of yandere not number 1? That's crazy. One of the most popular yandere of all time. Literally the yandere queen. Why didn't you put her as number 1 on your list? Mizuki Himeji. Baka to Test is a great anime. I love this show. The scene where they all turn into JoJo characters is one of the actually times that I laugh out loud at an anime. It's so good. Such a good show. Kaede Fuyu from Shuffle. Okay, I could see. Oh, because they're playing this card. They're giving the Griffith card for the top 3. Number 2, Yukako. Yeah, but she gets less. She gets less yandere-ish. Sato from Happy Sugar Life. She's tops list because she achieves the relationship she wants. Sorry, a good yandere kills her partner and then the relationship occurs because their souls are bonded forever in the afterlife. That's a true yandere. Really gets I think they'll get the point. A little ProZD reference for anyone wondering what that one is. I think he got the point. I love that whole series, the Dragon RPG. Achieves the relationship. Exactly. Is the whole point of the yandere is they don't. Or they kill everyone. You either kill everyone or you kill the target. One of the two. That's a true yandere. I don't know what that massive list of yanderes was, but that's what I think about true yandere. They have to actually kill somebody at some point. But that is going to do it. This was our first week of May. Wonderful week of May. Talked about some classic anime. Talked about some modern anime. I've got some Love After World Domination to catch up on, as well as a fun weekend of Formula One in Miami. So wasn't her relationship with a child? Don't know, actually. Sure. We'll say sure. We'll say sure. We'll say it's really bad. We'll say, yeah, there's no reason she should be at the top of that list. Whoever wrote that list needs to watch some real yandere stab people and then limit that list to 10 because there's at least 5 on that list that could get wiped out. Anyway, should be a good weekend. We got a brand new track for Formula One. Go out, enjoy your escapes, do some fishing, or if you can't fish, tie a bobber on and just throw it in the yard so that you can practice your cast and reel. Find some new shows, play a video game. If you work on the weekends, good luck. Don't get hurt at work so that you can keep making money. And keep bringing home all that bacon. Have a wonderful rest of your evenings. It has been a blast to chat with you all once again. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Kampai.